everybody. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe right here to get the latest from the show and check out more of the best clips from Up and Adams, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FanDuel. Goodness, Carmen. Could and all of a sudden you took on being a dog mom too? Like what was your time management skill, Vitaly?
There is none. Are you kidding? I just say yes to everything and then figure it out later, which is exactly what we did with that dog. And we ended up with a police dog. Completely by accident. We rescued him. I had no idea what he was. Turns out he's literally every breed of military and police dog that they use. So now I've added dog trainer to my resume because he's at school, actually. So we have him in training. He's a Belgian Malinois.
What does police dog mean? What does that mean?
Belgian Malinois, German Shepherd, Dutch Shepherd. It's all of the breeds that they use for like the bomb sniffing and the tracking dogs and the drug sniffing dogs and like the tactical, like the dogs you see in the tactical vests that are like scaling walls. That's what we got.
Good for you. Sounds like you got a bargain there. Is there? Oh my gosh, stop. Is it Mozzie? Stop it, Carmen.
His full name is Mozzarella Stick.
Okay.
And he goes by
Obviously.
Obviously.
When you say all these things, all I think is what a way to pick up guys. I'm borrowing that dog and walking down Manhattan, whatever you call that.
So
because that's like, is that a police dog? Tactical? Yes. In fact, it is, Jim.
He's very well behaved already. Yeah, and he will walk really nicely for you, and he'll protect you. He's the cutest, sweetest light of our lives. So,
oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Listen, let's talk about from that to sports, kind of sports adjacent. Dan Campbell, I have not seen this. What happened with him in the beanbag? Let's see this.
Oh.
What is this? What am I looking at?
I love these things. I love these things that happen because it just reminds you that these guys are just dads. Like Dan Campbell is as MCDC, Motor City, Dan Campbell, like he's a dad. And this is him moving his daughter out of college.
Oh my God.
And I don't know how the beanbag even got outside from her dorm room, but
that's not a beanbag. That's a bean bed. What is that?
It's actually, so his wife, Holly, is so sweet. On Instagram, she always posts kind of like the behind the scenes of all of this. And she just shows Dan, I guess, surprised his daughter. He wasn't even supposed to be there, but he showed up to move her out. And this was a love sack. And she's like, note to self, moving a love sack is not as easy as it looks.
Like you need more than a Dan Campbell to move a love sack? That's absolutely
Which is wild,
insane.
right? I mean, yeah. If Dan Campbell can't handle it on his own.
It looks like it looks like he was wrestling an alligator, but he got it done there as he moves his daughter Piper out of Michigan State. Go green, go white. Meanwhile, we got a classic off-season workout video from Aiden Hutchinson over the weekend. If you are an O lineman in the NFC North, the hell are you thinking looking at this?
Yeah, I mean, he's coming back with a vengeance, and he's been just head down for obviously months now. He was trying to make a return for the Lions run should they have made the Super Bowl, which we all know didn't happen, unfortunately. But this is everything that you want to see, and it's also nothing new because Aiden Hutchinson was going to trying to come back with a vengeance as much as possible, and so he is, and he's getting the very best rehab between going through the Lions facilities, his own facilities. And he should be ready to go for this season, but the Lions have also beefed up a lot along their defense to hopefully help him out a little bit.
The Lions are so interesting. I look at that. So like when I talked to Kevin O'Connell last week, I think I even said this to him. I was like, you have to go in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't see, and part of that is thinking like, maybe, is there a step back for the Lions? But then you look at that guy wrestling a love sack and you're like, no, surely not, because like he's still in charge. But the losing the two coordinator thing, and there's proof of that pudding with the Eagles, right? You take a step, you can't, to say that there wouldn't be there wouldn't be a little hole to fill or a little argument to have would be to discredit Ben Johnson's ability, right? And Glenn and there's a vibe there. They're still favored to take the division if you look at the odds. Right. The Vikings are getting longer odds, to make the playoffs, and the Falcons and the Cardinals, they're third in their division. I think we're like underestimating the Vikings, and I don't know if we're overestimating the Lions. Probably not. Your thoughts?
No, the Lions roster is still so stacked, and they have so many of their guys. They beefed up even more. So their first round pick, another defensive tackle that's going to help on the interior of that defensive line. But just in general, so many of their guys are either locked up or they're young and they're on rookie contracts. The way
Yeah.
that Brad Holmes has built this team has built it to be sustainable. And I don't really see them taking that large of a step back because of the talent on this roster. And they promoted from within on defense with Kelvin Shepard as the defensive coordinator. And I'm so excited for him. And I'm so excited to see what he can do as a coordinator with his first shot. But that being said, there is a little bit of an opportunity. I think if you're any other team in the NFC North, you have to think that there is an opportunity. Even if there's not, you have to think that there's an opportunity for you to kind of overtake the Lions. And Minnesota is, I feel like, uniquely positioned to kind of do that in a lot of ways if JJ McCarthy ends up being the quarterback that they think he's going to be. But at the same time, he's got Kevin O'Connell as the guy that gets to develop him. And we've seen what Kevin O'Connell can do with quarterbacks. The really good news for Minnesota is they've pretty much quarterback proofed their team. They don't need a whole lot out of JJ McCarthy in order to make this engine run between the defense that is, if it wasn't downright scary last year, it's insane now. I'm salivating at what Brian Flores is going to be able to do with this defense this year. The fact that they got John Allen and Javon Hargrave up front. And then they took their biggest weakness, the Minnesota Vikings took their biggest weakness, and they addressed it this offseason in the interior of their offensive line.
I know. So when I was talking to Kevin, I was literally like, I don't have a question about your draft. It's like the biggest compliment you can give a team is to say, you had this deficiency and you went and addressed it, and now we're moving on. So like, I think I like the Vikings maybe more than other people, even just looking at the odds. Same. But I'm trying to say, like, we're out on the narrative that the Lions peaked.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think that everything is still ahead of them. Like, again, like if
I mean, think about how banged up their defense was last year, Carm, and they still were like the best team. So like, it's not a narrative to.
And they address that again. You go and get BJ Hill on the in the back level there of that defense, and again, Tyleik Williams, their first round pick, should insulate against having to, put a lot of stress on the defensive backfield there. I love their linebackers. I think that Jack Campbell had kind of an under the radar season last year, but I mean, this is the guy that they've pegged to be their middle linebacker for a decade to come. That's what Aaron Glenn told me when they drafted him. So this is something that, and then you look at the offense and that offense is capable of scoring points just based on the roster, based on that offensive line, and just how much of a command that Jared Goff has over it, that they can withstand a change in offensive coordinator. Even Ben Johnson said it, although I think it was a little kind of tongue-in-cheek when he was being introduced as the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. He's like, yeah, the runway's built. That's all they need. They don't need me anymore. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know.
But I think it's not, so we're saying him leaving Detroit isn't a big deal, but he's going to make the biggest world of impact down in our hometown, Chicago. Do that math for me.
Yeah, I know. The math doesn't exactly math, but
maybe it was so bad in Chicago that he'll, from what what is the lift of Ben Johnson, even so far?
He's doing everything right. Okay. And I find myself this offseason for the first time, and I don't know how long, having a lot of optimism about the Chicago Bears. Yay! I've gone on this very program the last couple of years and been tempering expectations because I've had just more questions than answers when it comes to the Chicago Bears for the last few years, especially this year, at least, again, this is on paper, this is in May. It looks as if Ben Johnson is doing the right things. He's got individual workout plans and development plans for each individual player. He's building Caleb Williams back up from the ground up. He's beefed up the trenches, the offensive line.
Let's take a look at some of those ads, control room. Let's take a look at some of those moves Chicago's made for Carmen. Thank you. Tell me what you like here.
The biggest thing, I mean, I really did like their draft because it just gives an offensive weapon. I know a lot of people wanted Ashton Genty. Obviously, he wasn't there for the Bears, and they wanted them to take another running back. But you have to think in terms of weapons, not necessarily in positions when it comes to Ben Johnson's offense. So I do think Colston Loveland, he and Tyler Warren kind of 1A, 1B tight end in this draft. And then you think about the ceiling that Colston Loveland could potentially have in this offense with Ben Johnson, knowing exactly what to do at tight ends. Hello, Sam Laporta. I really think that this is going to end up being a really good young player that's going to be a good addition to this offense. But this offense, again, I need to caution, like this is where I come back down to earth a little bit on the Bears. This is where my pragmatism comes in. It's not going to look like Detroit's offense last year and like the excitement, the explosiveness, the pettiness of it. That comes with time. That comes with
to hell with that. I'm in.
I know. Okay, you're not helping here. I'm trying to
You know what
just
it
temper
is?
this a little bit. Give it a little bit of time.
No, I'm not into that. Do you want to know what it is? They
Or
had
what?
me. We have to take a break here in a second. We'll talk through the break, but they had me at just getting Ben. I don't need
No,
anything
I know.
else. So
No,
like it is so
that's fair.
asymmetrical to the past, like eye roll snoozer, like I'm not even like
That's what makes me
retweeting the higher.
optimistic.
So that's the vibe. Like the fact that like they even went and said like, you know, we're going to go get the best guy available this round, and they got him, then they landed him, and then it took him from a division like that. To me is like enough to get me calling the
Yes.
ticket office to try to get the best seats that I can next year. We'll be back after this with Carmen Vitale on Fox Sports, actually on FanDuel TV, but you know what I mean. Bye. Okay, let's keep talking here. Listen, this is, you know, we're a post draft. There's some big names still out there, Carm. Rapid fire style. I'm going to give you a player.
Boy.
Can you give me Can
Okay.
you give me the best place for them to maybe land? Nick Chubb.
All right. And should I just say Bears because we're talking about the Bears, and I do think they're
Yes.
not done adding to their running back room. Let's go Bears. If not Bears, then Broncos. I think he'd be
Oh my
really
gosh,
good
he would be
in
such, he's
Denver
such
too.
a football player, and the cold and the like, what the simplicity of what he does, and they need to support Caleb in that way. I would love that. Amari Cooper.
The place that makes most sense for him is Dallas. I can't believe it's a whole thing, but I really do think that he's going to go back to Dallas.
I like it. Stephon Gilmore.
I would like to see him at the Cardinals because they just drafted
Interesting.
Will Johnson. He's young. He slid a little bit because of the injury, and they still need help in that, that corner room. So I think a veteran presence in the corner room for the Cardinals would be
I
good.
would not hate that. Somebody's got to stop Devontae Adams from doing his thing, and I feel like the pedigree is a Super Bowl champ. I'd like that. Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons.
Cincinnati. I would love to see him with the Bengals, just to beef up that defense more.
Oh my gosh, stop. So we're going to have an AFC championship game. Justin Simmons, the Bengal, up against Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to pick six him.
Yes, yeah. If we're writing NFL fiction.
Excuse me, he's done it. He's picked him off like a bajillion times. I feel like we're going to, Justin Simmons can do that. Okay. I don't know. Keenan Allen, last one.
I think him and CeeDee Lamb's skill sets are too similar for him to go to Dallas, so I'm probably going to go Saints. I think the Saints could.
Oh gosh, he'd be
not that Keenan Allen is CeeDee Lamb. I just think that their skill sets are too similar to where that's a little bit redundant in Dallas, as much as Dallas still needs help.
I can't believe these guys are still. Yeah. How about Aaron Rodgers? I don't know how that wasn't on this list. Aaron, go.
I mean, the only place that it makes sense is Pittsburgh.
Do you think it?
What?
I mean, I think he's going, right?
Either that or retiring. I don't pretend to know the mind of Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I learned that lesson long ago.
I say he's. I think we'll get it. I'm trying to think. Before, I mean, definitely. I'd say in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think if he's waited this long, I feel like he's going to wait through all of the offseason program because he doesn't.
Oh,
want to
you
bother
think?
with the offseason program? What would be maybe like right before mini camps? But
Yeah.
I feel like he
on
doesn't
air?
want to do the whole rigmarole.
Oh, sorry. We're back on the air. That was my fault. Carmen Vitale of Fox Sports joining us, talking a little. Where is Aaron Rodgers going? Probably Pittsburgh. Probably, I'd say sooner than. I can't imagine he's gonna drag it out that long. Although, before you go, 2 game ones in the NBA tonight. Knicks, Celtics, Nuggets, Thunder. I know nothing. Which series should I watch? What should I watch?
I'm really interested to see how the Nuggets Thunder goes. I think a Knicks Celtics is going to be very interesting because you don't totally know what to do with the Knicks quite yet. But like the Celtics and the Cavs are on top of the East. That's been the case pretty much all year. There's been no mystery in the East whatsoever. So honestly, I haven't even paid as much attention to the East. The West, however, like Oklahoma City, swept their first series. They're the fun young team that like has some experience from last year getting bounced, and now they're coming back like, no, we're for real. So I'm really excited to see that. Plus the Nuggets are playing with, this fire without having a head coach. So that's a really fun kind of storyline. But I really like the Thunder, and I think
9.5 tonight on FanDuel Sportsbook. Big thanks to Carmen. You can follow her on Instagram and social at Carmie V, Carmie. No one's counting me down. We will see you guys tomorrow.